You're gay! Hello and welcome back, Ravers. It is season 3, episode 8 of Gay Rave, and I am the Gabby L. Hello, welcome back. We have so much to talk about. First, karaoke was a huge success. I will say we shut down the bar, which I rarely do, but this circumstance was just perfection. Nothing will keep me out past midnight. Listen, I love to go to bed. But mama, I already had whiplash. Why go to bed now? I gave myself whiplash, headbanging to I Am Not Okay by My Chemical Romance, and then I just like poured water all over my head. We had some singers. We had this old man come in named Kelly. He was singing Hello Frank Sinatra. I tried to make him do Fat Bottom Girls with me, but he seemed very uncomfortable. He did get up on stage and sort of stand there, but he was feeling very awkward. It was fantastic. Everyone came out. Shout out to my co-host Desi. Shout out to Dyke Beer for hosting it with us. We were doing it as one night only, but I think we might just have to run it back for these girls and these gays. But I'm gonna need you all to step your pussy up because we had some performers and we had some singers, but we did not have anyone go harder than me. So I'm gonna need you to go harder. No one got my free drink promise for choreography. And for that, I say, let's do it again. All right. Okay, moving on. Current events. Justin Bieber dropped his R&B Psychosis album on Friday. It's named Swag. He only just started teasing the album like the night before, like Thursday night, saying he's going to come out with it. It's been 4 years or something since Justice came out, so it's been quite a long time. And some songs are bops, but it just feels kind of iffy to support it publicly. You know, there is this one song I really like, Sweet Spot, very good, but there is a Sexy Red feature. Sexy Red is a Trump supporter now, but I do like what she did for the glasses wearing community. Sexy Red has some hits, and she said, don't be afraid to wear your glasses. And as a glasses wearer, I say, thank you, Sexy. So that song hits, and Sexy Red does say the words, he put it in my ass in the song. And so to that, I say, cheers, Sexy. And there is like, if you listen to the whole thing, like front to back, there are these like vocal conversational interludes between him and the comedian Drewski, where they're talking about how all this online criticism makes him feel crazy and how he might be a white man, but he has a black soul and all these really questionable things. So to that, I say, I love this R&B. It reminds me of Journals, which had R&B hits. Justin, you're all that matters to me. You remember that? It was when his little fucker phase, when he was doing like the leather drop crotch pants energy with a leather vest. That was the energy I'm talking about. So R&B is great. Some songs good. Whole thing questionable. I will listen to it so that the money can eventually go to Hailey in the divorce to take care of their child, but still. Okay, think about that. Speaking of questionable things, Jojo Siwa, known for Dance Moms fame, then Big Brother UK fame, then becoming a, queer, lesbian, gay pop icon to now dating her male co-star from Big Brother UK named Chris Hughes, who is a 32-year-old man. That's Jojo Siwa. So Jojo is dropping a cover of the song Betty Davis Eyes because apparently she's been singing it on her musical tour that she's on, that she does all the time. Someone on TikTok said, another win for the deaf, because this cover is actually, it's something of another world when she's singing Betty Davis Eyes, and on tour she keeps replacing it with Chris Hughes eyes, and to that I say kill myself. To that I say no. Like the original artist too made a comment about her sort of doing this cover and this re-releasing of the song, saying it's one thing to sing it and it's another to embody it. And you know how old people use like a lot of ellipses, a lot of like dot 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 experiences like in all of their writing? We've really got to start doing that, by the way. This whole podcast is going to become a start, stop, continue chart from now on. So that's what JoJo is doing these days. And I do feel like she is continuing with the trend of, like every couple of months, just like memifying herself or becoming a meme in some way to come back into the zeitgeist. And she makes a fuck ton of money on it because everyone's watching it, everyone's downloading it, everyone's commenting on it. So that is her way of staying relevant. And I do think that's a strategy. Ultimately, I do feel like it's probably doing like extreme damage to her already damaged psyche. But alas, here we are, and I'm talking about it. Okay. So go ahead and listen to that if you want to feel really weird. Moving on. Trump is going to deport Rosie O'Donnell. Trump and Rosie go way back. Like his hatred for Rosie and Rosie's hatred for Donald, like actually goes way, way back. So she posted an Instagram post of Donald Trump standing next to Epstein, like, you're a liar, you're a fraud, yada, yada, you're a pervert, all those things. And which we know. And so Donald Trump said, Rosie, she's a very bad woman. He's going to revoke her citizenship. She was born in America. I'm pretty sure to American parents. And he's just like, yeah, no, maybe not. So she moved to Ireland when he got elected because she didn't want to be in like Trump's America. And so what Trump said is he's thinking about revoking her citizenship and the people of Ireland can keep her. And listen, I've been to Ireland. It's actually kind of lit there. It's pretty good there. I'm not going to lie. People, nice. They like to drink. Weather's pretty chill. Bars, places to go, museums, fucking old shit, old architecture and stuff. You're already in Europe. So kind of go off with that. And I honestly have to say something really quick. The Epstein file thing is turning out to be a bigger deal than I thought. And I know as I'm saying that, it sounds absolutely fucking ridiculous to say out loud because duh. Okay, duh. I did watch the whole surviving Epstein thing, even though it was fucking traumatic. And it sounds like Trump supporters are like now burning their hats over this. The whole like him saying that he would release it, and now he's saying that the list is bad and it's not real and it was created by Obama and the Clintons. And then they released footage of the Epstein's jail cell the night before he committed suicide, but there's 61 seconds missing before midnight. So it was edited, all these things. And so it seems like that is the thing that everyone's very upset about, this whole Epstein list. And listen, whatever it takes, if it takes information we knew about his connection to Epstein, fine. That is a continue for me. Continue to make this Epstein thing a big deal. That's what I'm going to say, go off with. But you know what? I will say, adding insult to injury here, Ellen DeGeneres pipes in on Rosie O'Donnell's post and says, way to go, Rosie. Ellen, not now. Shut the fuck up, Ellen. Listen, if you start banding together, he's going to kick all of us out. He's going to say, oh, you two, gay people, lesbians, cut off all their rights, cut off all their health care, actually deport all of them as well. So you know what? Why don't you pipe down? Now is not the time, Ellen. Listen, of all the times, you were already canceled. Stay there. Keep it that way, okay? Moving on. A stop for me in the Start Stop Continue is going to be the Red Lobster red carpet in the WNBA. And allow me to explain. Before WNBA games, the players arrive and there's sort of a red carpet taking them into the locker room to get changed, get ready to warm up for the game. So they all arrive in these cool designer fits, they get their photos taken, and they walk in. Many players are sponsored by designers or they wear cool fits so that way they can show off and get sponsorships. So, Red Lobster, as you may have heard, went bankrupt semi recently. They got a new CEO. He stopped the endless shrimp, which was making them go bankrupt. And now he's turning the company around. He added seafood boils to the menu. He added a bunch of cool cocktails, yada, yada. He also added sponsoring the WNBA red carpet to the agenda for marketing. And that means for a game, I'm pretty sure it was the Atlanta Dream, they had the players walk in on a red carpet with red walls all around, and there was a bunch of fucking Red Lobster marketing and lobsters all over the place. Always be marketing. But this is a stop for me because, like, these people fight hard enough. Equality, pay equity, the collective bargaining agreement, racism. But these women wearing full gowns on a red carpet with 100 Red Lobster claws surrounding them is not giving opulence or equal rights. Like, we are going to need to stop this. I understand that Red Lobster is trying to make a comeback and I want them to succeed as well. I love their cheddar biscuits, okay? But I do not need to see my favorite players literally embarrassing themselves walking down the Red Lobster carpet. Does LeBron have to do this? No! And also, these players need to stop wearing like 3-piece suits. I swear to God, Caitlin Clark is being sponsored by motherfucking Dress Barn. The way she's always in these like oversized sateen suits. At least Angel Reese is walking up in here fully dressed like Dolce & Gabbana. Hello? Moving on. Rave reviews. Oh, yes. I'm so excited for this one. Simone Biles soft launching her retirement with her boob job. Simone Biles recently posted from a tropical vacation with a gigantic looking rack. And to that I say, you go, girl. You show those things off. And I'm not saying that these couldn't just be potentially her natural boobs looking super juicy in this photo. That is potentially true. But I would like to think that she is trying to indicate that she is no longer being a gymnast or an Olympian anymore. She's hanging up her hat, and the way that she's telling us is through a beautiful boob job and her on vacation enjoying her life. Okay, so I am happy for her. Now she can live the rest of her life in peace with her huge boobs, although there is no peace in being with a man, especially that man who was making those whack ass comments about her thirsting for him and her being the one who was chasing him because he is allegedly more famous. Him, I don't even know his name. Okay. Simone Biles' husband. That's all I have to say about that. Moving on. Next rave review. Love Island is over. And I will not be spoiling anything, but I will say I'm happy with the results. I am very happy with the result. And the finale was actually pretty fun. It was a good one to watch. I did shed a tear. Their little speeches that they gave to each other. So 4 couples make it to the finale of Love Island. And at the very final point piece, they all wear formal wear for some reason. And they get up on a stage and they read sort of a love note to their partner and their couple. And they were actually very unique and very beautiful. I feel like they actually wrote them themselves and they didn't use ChatGPT, although a couple of them, maybe they pulled the Russell Wilson and used Bing. Okay, if you don't remember, like 10 years ago, Russell Wilson, known for quarterback football fame. I know him on the Seahawks or the Steelers, and I'm pretty sure now he's on another team, maybe the Giants. I don't totally remember. The most important part is that he's married to Sierra. Okay, that's all I have to say. So in like 2016, I want to say almost 10 years ago, Russell Wilson posted on Instagram a Woman Crush Wednesday about his love, Sierra, who he went on to marry and have multiple children with and love God with. So he posted, I think it was multiple posts with these like beautiful captions. And someone replied to his Instagram post, Women Crush Wednesday of Sierra, saying that his captions were actually taken from the first Google search, how to describe a beautiful woman. There was an article with a bunch of quotations that he ended up using. He used them from the same article. He used different quotations about how to describe a beautiful woman from the same article. Your boy Googled how to describe a beautiful woman about his future wife, Sierra, a truly beautiful woman with incredible taste and style and music and discography. He could not even think of or come up with or originate a sentence about her beauty and uniqueness and talent. He did Google how to describe a beautiful woman and he did click on the first article and he did take multiple quotations and he was called out on it. And he did respond by saying, I don't Google, I use Bing or something like that. So that's what I mean when I say that. So back to Love Island. Yes, I did shed a tear. Yes, I did love their speeches. I thought they were very sweet. It seems like people really gave each other a lot of sweetness and kindness and grace, and I am loving that. Although I do think the season of Love Island did expose a lot of flaws in like internet culture. Because there is no reason why that bitch Huda should have been in the finale. It's like Stan culture kept her there. She was not even in a couple. They broke up the day before the finale and she was still in it. They were still eligible to win this money over these other actual couples who like each other. So I'm a little worried that we're so internet pilled now that we think it's like okay to drop like the decorum rules of society, I guess. And I guess it's because the standing on business challenge that took place in Love Island, where they could write anonymous notes about like what drives them crazy about other people in the villa, and they all chose to sign their notes with like who wrote it, and everyone really respected that they all signed their opinion and signed what they had to say. And I get it's a challenge where they all were forced to do that, but I feel like everyone is so like we bully people on the internet and we have our names assigned to it. And so now when people bully people in real life, we are still considering them like an honest person. Like, oh, they're just like a really honest person or a really real person. I just am like, I don't know. We've strown too far away from the light. I just feel like it's okay to like have an opinion on someone and move your way around them without having to address it in a public setting or comment or like publicly hate somebody. Okay. And I think even if you don't like somebody, like, you don't have to be mean to them. That's my opinion. But I don't know if this is me just like making grand assumptions about this entire generation or internet culture or stan culture, but that's just how I feel. And that's my concern. So that's actually moving into a grave review. Next grave review, in absolutely horrific news, Megan Thee Stallion is dating Klay Thompson. Pour one out for our girl. She was showing out and showing off on that Love Island twerking challenge. And now her and Klay are soft launching on Instagram. I had to take a minute because I had a dream after they did the soft launching of like them holding hands on a beach somewhere. I had a dream that I ran into them on the beach. And I didn't have any of my personal effects with me. I was just myself with none of my wares walking on a beach, and I ran into them. And you know how I get really weird around celebrities. And so I was talking to them, like trying to ask to use one of their cell phones so that I could like call for help or something. And I didn't know what to say, or like I was acting really starstruck and like it was coming off really suspicious. So they didn't let me use their phones. And I do feel like although it was a dream, that could actually happen. If I could get anywhere near those two people, that would happen, but I can't possibly do that. But either way, like I guess I'm happy for them, although I am devastated that it's not me. Meg, I'm still here if you ever need me. Okay, moving on. Also, fuck you, Draymond Green. Draymond said, I think it was on Twitter, he was like, she's got a thing for shooters. I understand that you're making a basketball joke, but that's not fucking funny. How we don't make jokes about how she was shot. Okay? Yeah, thanks. Okay. Also, grave review, remembering dreams. I'm fucking sick of it. I also never remember my dreams. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. I wake up, boom, it's gone. You can't even ask me what it was about. I already forgot. I moved on with my day. I'm already thinking about 10 other things. I can't, I'm like singing my songs in my head. I ain't got no panties on, ain't got no panties on, I ain't got no panties on the dance floor, right? Okay. So I've been having this recent trauma dream where my ex gets engaged because this happened to me. Last time I was in a relationship. Okay. We were literally together. My birthday is September 24th. In 2019, September 24th, 2019, me and my ex were at Rooftop Cinema right outside of MSG watching The Greatest Showman, having a great time, sort of. We did kind of resent each other at this point still because I knew that she was cheating on me. Here nor there, here nor there, we were together. And so we were together early October 2019. Then we do break up after that. Okay, right? Cut to August of 2020. I'm laying on a beach in Block Island with my family. I open up the Instagram app. They are announcing their engagement. She's announcing her engagement to the girl that she cheated on me with. So it was approximately 10 months since we had been together and they were engaged. And although I do think there was overlap, so it could have been a year because I'm pretty sure she cheated since maybe August. So say they were even together a year. I am sitting there like, oh my God. Okay. Gotta deal with this shit now. Fine. Okay. So that's my trauma dream that I've been having recently. Not amazing. Not amazing. Wish I could forget that one. All right. But you know what? I should have known that my ex was actually the fucking worst. I knew she hated my ass. Like, she was she had come up to me one day, right? And she was like, oh, I don't know if I should reach out to my old teammate. Like, she's really going through something and I've been through it. I don't know if I should reach out. And you know what I said? Like a supportive partner, I said, you ought to reach out to her. Like, it would be really nice if you could support her. I know that you haven't talked in a while, but I'm sure she would really appreciate it. You really ought to. And she was like, ought? I ought to? I ought. OUGHT. What is this, old English? Ought? Who says ought? So she was like really writing me about the ought thing. Like, she would bring it up like for days. She'd be like, I ought to do this. You ought to do this. Like, she was really like harping on the ought thing. And so I was like, oh, wait, you fucking hate me. Like, I should have known. I should have known. When the ought thing was happening, I should have been like, this bitch literally hates me. There is nothing I could do or say. Like, I get that saying that word is like kind of not it. Like, it is kind of a weird word to say, but like that's not even in like the 1% of weird shit that I do. So like, when you're hyperfixing, when you already hate your partner, like you will hyperfixate on anything to actually break up with them. And ought wasn't the reason, but it didn't help. Okay, moving on. Can I say something? Is about TikTok. And I will say that my TikTok has turned into sort of an America's Funniest Home Videos at this point. TikTok is not radicalizing me. It's mostly people running into things, people falling over, cats doing funny things, maybe some babies doing funny things. It is serving as AFHV, America's Funniest Home Videos at this point. Like, I am not getting propaganda. I'm sure they know I'm already blue pilled. So, like, I'm not getting polarizing content from China. But I will say it is bringing me a lot of joy to see this like really ridiculous shit. And we all used to watch this shit on cable after our shows were on. You know what? Yes, this is exactly it. After our shows were on, we all need to go back to cable television. When after our shows were on, everyone was forced to watch America's Funniest Home Videos, and that was when you knew it was time. It was like 10 p.m. It was time to turn the TV off, and that's what the culture we all need to go back to. That's what made us human, because we all watched people submit videos of dumb shit happening, and now that is what my TikTok has become, and it is actually bringing me a lot of joy and humanity. Okay, because honestly, what makes us human now? Um, Hating the rain, talking about the weather, saying which photos have sidewalks in them, looking for a bus, seeing which photos have a bus on the captcha, deciding looking for a bicycle in this captcha is like looking for rain in this drought. Useless and disappointing. Oh my God. So that is what I think would solve the internet crisis. And that is what I think would solve the empathy crisis we have in the world. Okay. Everyone watching stupid videos. Okay. Moving on. My I'm sorry goes out to my softball team. So I'm sorry to everyone at the bar on Saturday. I was trying to tell a hilarious story about how I was almost on the TV show Baggage. If you are under the age of approximately 27 years old, let's say, yeah, if you were born in or after the year 2000, the millennium, I would say that you probably don't know what Baggage is. Baggage was hosted by Jerry Springer, and it was on at a weird time of the day, but essentially you had a dater who had multiple people who were vying for their love, who had to bring three pieces of baggage that they had: small, medium, and large. And they would show their small baggage, and then the dater would say, I want to get rid of this person based on their small baggage. And then one by one, they would see the medium baggage and they'd get rid of another person. And they'd see their large baggage and they'd select the person they wanted to date. And then they would share their baggage. Okay, got it. So the Baggage show was filmed in like Waterbury, Connecticut, and they came to source people from Yukon, where I was going to college. So I went to the audition thing, and I went through the process. I talked to the interview people, I did the background check, and then I got to the point where we were picking out my baggage. And I was sharing with my wonderful softball team what we decided what my three pieces of baggage would be. My smallest baggage was that I could fit my whole pinky in my belly button. My medium baggage was that I lived at my mother's house. My large baggage was that I had a lot of debt. I was a senior in college, so those last two I feel probably could have described 80% of the participants, but that's here nor there. They accepted that baggage. Okay. So I got all the way to the point where I had a filming date. And then I started to get really fucking stressed out because I lived at Yukon Stores and I could have driven to Waterbury, but then I was like, I fear that I'm not going to get a job. People are going to see me and this belly button confession on this Jerry Springer show, and they're going to know, and they're not going to hire me at their jobs. Little did I know, how would anyone know, and why would they be watching that? And also, if an employer sees that, is that grounds for not hiring? Unclear. Okay. Some of the things people were saying on there could potentially be grounds for like firing, like stealing or identity theft. That was some people's baggage. Okay. So I backed out. I told them I was sick or at a final or something, and I didn't do it. Okay. But I could have been a star of television. I could have taken this career and been the next Bad Baby, Cash Me Outside, and had a baby father and beef with Travis Barker's daughter on the internet now. That could have been me, but it wasn't. All right. Moving on. So then I tell my team this, and they were hyper fixated on the finger and the belly button thing. And everyone was like, Gabby, do it. And I got really shy and I can't do it. So I did not do it, and I don't want to do it because it's a moment of stress for me. Listen, I have done it before. I know that I can, but it's starting to stress me out that now I've told too many people and now they're all going to make me do it. And you know, if I did this on Jerry Springer on Baggage, they would have made me fucking put my finger on my belly button on TV. And now there would be footage on the internet of me doing Baggage and putting my finger on my belly button on TV. And in retrospect, as a 31-year-old woman with a podcast, it probably would have helped me out now because it would be a funny piece of lore. But now all I have is this and the disappointment in the eyes of all of my teammates because I refuse to do it in person. So that's my I'm sorry to all of them. Moving on, song of the week. I Ain't Got No Panties On the Dance Floor by Wax a Million is an absolute banger. I played that song an infinity amount of times on this weekend, and I will play it again. The other songs that are honorable mentions are Sweet Spot by Bieber on the Questionable album, and also Deeply Still in Love by Role Model. Okay, ravers. I have a bingo on Friday. They finally let me into their Friday night spot. All the queers are going to be getting gussied up, all going out on a Friday night energy, getting in their hot, sexy looks. They're going to go to the bush, trying to have fun on a Friday night. They're going to run into me, bitch. Yes. Come out to bingo on Friday. Let's have a good time. This has been Gay Rave. I'm the Gabby L, and the L is for, say it with me, love you. Bye.
That's what she said. And you know what? What was that? Okay, James.